Monday, March 11, 2019. 157 passengers dead after Ethiopian Airlines flight to Nairobi crashes shortly after takeoff. The Ethiopian Airlines jet that crashed shortly after takeoff on Sunday, killing all 157 people aboard, is the same make and model as the plane that crashed off Indonesia last year with 189 deaths. The Ethiopian Airlines jet had been in service for only 4 months and had no known technical issues, the airline's chief executive said. The executive also said the pilot, Senior Captain Yared Getachew, had an excellent track record with more than 8,000 hours of flight time. Ethiopian Airlines said those on board were from at least 35 countries and confirmed that 8 Americans, 7 British nationals, and 18 Canadians were among the victims. Opposition leader Juan Guaido said Sunday he will ask Venezuela's legislature to declare, quote, a state of alarm, authorizing the delivery of international aid in response to a catastrophic power outage that has paralyzed the country. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, in full campaign mode ahead of the April 9th polls, on Sunday said Israel, quote, was not a state of all its citizens, in a reference to the country's Arab population. Iran's president is making his first official visit to Iraq this week as he faces mounting pressure from hardliners at home in the wake of the Trump administration's unraveling of the nuclear deal. Trump to request $8.6 billion for border wall in 2020 budget. President Trump plans to seek $8.6 billion for additional barriers along the southern U.S. border as part of his budget proposal to be released Monday.
The president will ask for an additional $8.6 billion to build more than 700 miles of barriers along the southern border.
The president's proposed amount for wall funding drew immediate criticism from Democrats, and some Senate GOP aides said they were wary Sunday of Mr. Trump's request, given the recent government shutdown over the issue.
Now, as part of this budget debate, there will also be action in the Senate this week on the president's national emergency declaration. There'll be a resolution of disapproval likely to pass.
In a joint statement, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer said the money would be better spent on education or workforce development. Starting in 2021, Americans and travelers from other visa-free countries will have to complete an online application and pay a small fee when visiting more than 24 countries in Europe. A federal judge in California has ruled that all of the families separated at the border since July of 2017 could join a class action lawsuit against the U.S. government. Severe turbulence has injured 30 people on a Turkish Airlines flight from Istanbul to New York City. New York City is edging towards financial disaster. Experts say that New York City is careening closer to all-out financial bankruptcy for the first time since Mayor Abraham Beame ran the city more than 40 years ago. Long-term debt is now more than $81,100 per household, and Mayor de Blasio is ramping up to spend as much as $3 billion more in the new budget than the current $89.2 billion. De Blasio has detailed $750 million in savings for the preliminary fiscal 2020 budget, but analysts warn that it won't be enough if New York's economy is hit by financial shocks. New York City small businesses facing eviction could get free legal counsel under a new city council bill modeled after a similar program for residential tenants. The Brooklyn District Attorney's Office is set to release a plan Monday it says will fundamentally reshape its culture, including by asking prosecutors to incarcerate fewer defendants and to use other ways to keep people safe. Multiple sources confirmed to the city and state that Queens Democratic District leaders plan to meet Monday morning to elect Representative Gregory Meeks as the new county leader.